You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for our Black and White Sports. We're going to talk about Brian Flores. As we know, he got a job with the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday. Mike Tomlin and the Rooney-owned organization, by the way, Rooney Rule, anybody, organization decided to bring on the former Miami Dolphins head coach, and he has a lawsuit against the NFL right now. He's suing the NFL for racial discrimination. So one can only wonder what will happen with the lawsuit. Will it continue? And you also have to wonder, did anything happen here behind the scenes? And what I mean by that is, look, back in the day during the draft, there was a guy that was coming out in the draft named Michael Sam. We all know he was brave, stunningly, and courageously gay. That was made a huge deal by the NFL. And it was kind of leaked out that there was possibly a solid that was done for the NFL owners and Roger Goodell by way of Jeff Fisher, who was the head coach of the Rams at the time. And that theory was the NFL league office called Jeff Fisher behind the scenes and said, look, we're on national TV, we're on ESPN, we're on NFL Network, and we don't want this NFL draft to go by without Michael Sam being drafted by somebody. Now, a lot of people know, look, 6th and 7th round picks can at times be more of throwaway picks depending on how many you got. Some teams have like three or four in one round that late in the NFL draft. And of course, the Rams took the defensive end out of Missouri, and of course he didn't do anything in the NFL, most notably because he was just too damn slow off the line. That was just a fact to be an effective pass rusher in the NFL. Well, one has to wonder, as the Brian Flores lawsuit will continue, I've got to wonder, did the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin just simply do the NFL a solid here? One has to truly wonder that. The Brian Flores lawsuit will continue. This is Florio. And look, Florio is pro Brian Flores on this. He wants him to burn the NFL to the ground. Look, burning the NFL to the ground is not a terrible thing in theory. I just think this is a bullshit lawsuit. Surprisingly, Brian Flores has an NFL job. Even though he isn't a head coach and should be, I can acknowledge I think Brian Flores should be an NFL head coach somewhere. He'll work with the Steelers in 2022, serving as a senior defensive assistant and linebackers coach. His landmark class action lawsuit alleging racial discrimination will continue. Quote, we congratulate Coach Flores on his new position with the Steelers and thank Coach Tomlin and the organization for giving him this great opportunity. Attorneys Douglas H. Wigdor and John Eferatus said in a statement, I guess. Quote, while Coach Flores is now focused on his new position, he will continue with his race discrimination class action so that real change can be made in the NFL. The existence of a lawsuit against the NFL, the Dolphins, the Giants, the Broncos, and eventually the Texans should not disqualify Flores from employment with another team. Yes, he should be a head coach. It's good that he hasn't had the door completely slammed in his face. And it's smart from the NFL's perspective. While the situation is bad for the league, it becomes even worse if a qualified and accomplished coach gets a full and complete blackball treatment. Well, yeah, but let's be real. You're suing the league. And you're suing fellow teams in the league. Okay, so yeah, that would be a tough hire if I was an NFL team on that grounds alone. Never mind the fact that you want your head coach fully committed with tunnel vision towards whatever the vision is for your football team to win. And if you have an NFL lawsuit going on, and if you have a lawsuit going on against multiple NFL teams, the fact is you are distracted in some way. You have something major going on in the background that is going to take time away from giving attention to a team. And I simply have to wonder out loud, I'm not afraid to speculate, I have to wonder, did the NFL call up the Steelers and be like, look, we could really use Brian Flores having some sort of a job right now. And of course, the Steelers and Mike Tomlin would probably come back to the NFL and say, well, I can always create a position, right? And look, senior defensive assistants, that's a thing. Okay, linebackers coach, we know that's a thing. And Flores is definitely qualified for those roles. But you have to wonder, as all these teams sort of spread away from Brian Flores because of this lawsuit, you have to wonder if the team that created one of the most worthless rules in the history of any sport, the Rooney Rule, you have to wonder if there was some kind of a we've got your back situation on this from the Steelers back to the NFL. Oh, this doesn't look good if Brian Flores is not employed anywhere in any way. Okay, and the umbrella position of senior defensive assistant, I don't know what that pays, but my guess is Mike Tomlin is not paying Brian Flores peanuts. Okay, I just don't believe that. Somehow, some way, he's probably getting $1.5 million, $2 million to be in that position. Okay, as head coach somewhere, he'd have made $5 million, but you decided to sue the league and a bunch of teams. I still contend that he was influenced in some way by some lawyers. Okay, not saying he wasn't mad. I'm sure he was irate, but I'm just saying he didn't have grounds for this lawsuit. When you look at the lawsuit and everything that's named in the lawsuit, the only thing you can come away with is, what does anything you've got to say have to do with the color of your skin? Nothing. That's purely speculation on his part. Purely. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.